Hello, very quick unboxing. This time it's for the Straight Power 11. This is the 1000 watt model. It's fully modular and it's a power supply from Be Quiet. It's quite heavy. I'll flip it over and you can look at the back because that's got the pictures of what cables you get with it. So I'll just hold that there for you so you can pause the video and take a look. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. So let's get the seal cut and then we'll have a look inside. Side. So what we've got is a user manual, which is all the Straight Power 11 get the same manual by the look of it. It is multilingual. Most of it is, there's a quick thing about frequent problems, safety features, so a lot of it's just sort of general data really, more than anything else. You get, that's the UK mains lead, because obviously I'm in the UK, so I get that. Let's just get, there's a 2-pin power adapter as well, which we don't use here, but you might use where you are. Get that out of the way. Couple of cable ties, 4 cable ties and 4 screws. There's a huge great bundle there. I'll move that to one side. So let's see what we've got in this bundle. So there are these sort of Velcro ties as well, which I'm not a fan of, but nonetheless. So these are the SATA and Molex, and they're still putting Molex on, so I guess there's a place for it, isn't there? Yeah. HDD, yes, it's just for compatibility, because if you're buying this as a product and they don't want to alienate potential markets by not having standard connectors on, because Molex connectors were standard, that's all you could get. Whether it's got a floppy, that might be interesting, but at the moment having Molex on obviously doesn't do any harm, and not having them would do harm because you'd alienate potential customers, so that's why they still include them. That one is just SATA, 4 SATAs on there. That one is that's 2 SATAs and 2 Molex. That's 3 SATAs, and that's 2 SATAs and 2 Molex. Floppy. Some things like sort of 3.5 inch and 5.25 inch drive bay things use floppy connector power supplies, like fan controllers, that kind of thing, but it's got a Molex on the end of that. There's the main ATX one, and here must be the voltage for the CPU and PCI Express. So what's that? That's VGA1. So there's 2, there's 6. It's clever because you've got a 6 and a 2 on each one, so you've got 2 8s, or you've got an 8 and a 6, or 2 6s, or yeah, so that's kind of clever how they've done that. I mean, it's standard, but nonetheless it doesn't detract from the fact that it's quite handy. There's another one, VGA3. So that's, what's wrong with that one? That's VGA1, VGA3, so one of these must be VGA2. There it is, VGA2. And then we get, what's that one? That's P8 and CPU2 and CPU, yeah, P8, P4 to P8. So you get, that's quite good because you're getting 2 8-pin CPU voltages, voltage cables, so that's kind of good as well. I suppose it is 1000 watts, so that's not unusual to expect that. In fact, you should expect it for 1000 watts. So yes, very nice collection of cables. Let's look at the actual power supply itself. So we take that bit out, and we'll lift that out, and get rid of that. And I'll just peel that off. It's desiccant. Do not eat. Oh. See, that's quite attractive, isn't it? Because it's got the bars going across it, and it's quite a nice sort of structural fan guard, and it is quite a nice big fan. And on the back is your usual big old mains lead power switch, and then obviously some specs on there and a serial number, and there's your drive. So it is completely fully modular. And I suppose the question is, why bother having it fully modular? It's just that if you've got obviously you're going to use the ATX and the CPU power connectors as a very much a bare minimum. So a lot of the time, the semi-modular ones come with those two cables pre-fitted. The advantage of having fully modular is obviously when you're routing the cables, it's easier to fit that through a hole than it is to fit the full ATX thing through a hole. So it's just having it completely modular means you've got a little bit more flexibility, and it can often be, depending on the case, a lot easier to get the cables through, because you don't need to have, this big thing isn't attached to one end. So that's I mean, it's a niggle, and it's not a deal breaker, but fully modular is obvious. Well, it exists as a product, so people buy it, and yeah, I quite like fully modular if I can get them, but they're usually the premium ones anyway. So yeah, any questions? It is got a nice feel to it. Any questions and any comments, stick them in the comments. This is going into a customer's build, so we'll probably see it again in a future video, and as always, thanks for watching.